You've spent hundreds of pounds on smart bulbs. You've spent hundreds of hours painfully, faithfully setting up your smart home. And then the time comes, it's dark, getting dark. You're trying to read and you go to your app, you click to turn on the light and nothing happens. You stay in the dark because someone has turned the light off at the light switch and your light bulb doesn't have any power. This is an annoying and frustrating but solvable problem. The solution is a smart switch. So you have the switch itself is actually smart and controlled by Zigbee instead of the bulb. So when someone switches it off at the wall, you can switch it on again using your smart home. The smart switch I'm going to be installing is by Repenic. They have kindly given me this switch for free for this video. So let's get this installed. Okay, so let's see what comes in the box. Oh, nice protective film. Take this off. Yeah, so cool. So I've gone for the dimmer version. It will send a Zigbee message when you like turn the knob, either way, obviously. And yeah, on-off push switch. Build quality seems pretty good and pretty compact as well, because that's important to get into the light switch. Got your live, got your switch live. Yeah, everything looks good. This looks pretty good. Let's go get it installed. So this is the switch I'm actually going to be replacing. It's for the bathroom, which is the other side of this door. I've read the instructions. It seems pretty easy. In fact, I think it's 3 clicks. So first we need to take this light switch off. Light switch is off. Now we need to install this. First we take off the faceplate removed. Now we just have to put in the wires. So we have switch live there and live there. Put it in place. Easy as 1, 2, 3. Done. Now I just need to replace the faceplate. Done. And there we have the light switch installed. Let's see if it works. Power's back on. Open the door so you can see the light. Excuse the mess. Let's see, push button. Hooray, lights on. Let's see if the dimmer works. Nice. What I like is when you turn it off and on, it sort of does a slow in fade. Beautiful. Right, now let's jump to the computer, do some coding. So now we need to get the Zigbee switch connected to our Zigbee network. I'm using Zigbee to MQTT to manage my network. So this is what the dashboard looks like. And so to permit to join, we just click this button here. This now allows devices to join. And just above me, you can see I've got like a live feed of the lights. So we can see it when it goes on and off. But to allow it to join the network, I need to press the button once and then twice and then hold for 3 seconds. And then hopefully you'll see some messages appear. Let me just move this a bit smaller. You should see the interview start. So just 1 second. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There we go. There we go. And as you can see now, the interview's happened and we have the device on the network. Now we need to give it a friendly name. So let's just edit the name, friendly name. This is like the address that we're going to be able to receive notifications and send messages to control the lights. So I'm going for switch and then bathroom. Rename device. And hopefully we should now see. Yep, there we go. Let's rename its device. And let's just have a look and see what we can see here. So we get some information about the model that has joined our network. But interesting thing here is exposes. So this is the Zigbee to MQTT dashboard for controlling the lights. So if I click off here, you can hopefully see, yep, in the top right, the light's gone off. I click back on, come back on. This controls the brightness. If I go down, over here, you can see the camera's adjusting its white balance, but you can tell it's kind of like dimmer and now much brighter. Nice. Some effects. The power on behavior controls what happens to the device when power's lost and comes back on. Interestingly, which I've not seen much of before, you get a measure of the watts that's being used, the voltage it's currently running on, and then therefore the amps, which you can work out from the other two. The min brightness, this is an interesting control, and it's an advantage over smart, which you wouldn't get over a dumb switch, is you can define how low you'll be able to make it go. So for example, maybe you never want it to go below 50. So even on the control itself, when you're moving it down, it will only go to 50 brightness, which is quite useful if there's no reason for you to go that low. Or max brightness, again, maybe you can limit the maximum brightness it could go. And this again might be quite useful if it's in a dark room, you never want it to be like super bright. Default brightness makes sense. Boost, this I'm not going to test and I haven't been able to test, but essentially what this does is just some lights, if you just put a little bit of power, they don't turn on. So boost will like put like a millisecond or a second of high power just to get the lights to turn on, and then power back down to your lower brightness if that's what you have set up the start mode. So this looks all good. So let's get on to using this in code. And the way we do that, we go back to the About page and we click somewhere here to see this. There you go. Yeah, that would do. So this is the Zigbee to MQTT page. What this does is tells us the commands we need to send to control the light. So again, it gives you some things here that we sort of talked about, but here's what we're interested in: light. So to control the state, publish on the message topic, Zigbee to MQTT, friendly name, set with payload state on or off, or toggle to make it go on and off. Okay, so that's where we'll start. So let me take you to my code. So this is my basic class MQTT client, which I wrote in one of my other videos. Well, I think pretty much my first video. This false just means like it's not on a local, because you can host your MQTT server locally, and that false just means it's looking to the actual server that's controlling the house, and then we're getting the client. So this seems like this should hopefully be fairly easy. If we go to the client, we don't subscribe AI, we publish. And we need to put the friendly name. So the friendly name is Zigbee to MQTT. Now this is the default base topic that Zigbee to MQTT has added. If you changed yours, it won't be the same. Now we give the friendly name, so that'll be switch, if I can spell it right. And then bathroom. Bathroom. Goodness, can't type. And then, yeah, set, because that's what the documentation told us to do. Set. And now we need to give this payload state on. So let's just copy that. So, AI knows what to do. Yeah, when I started this series, AI was not around. Makes me feel old. So we should just be able to run this script. The light should turn off, and it didn't. I wonder if it's just exiting too quickly. So I'm just going to put a quick hack in. There we go. Off. So unfortunately, like it's the script is exiting before it's actually finished sending the message. So we're going to have to keep that kind of hacky thing going there. Let's see if we can turn it on. There we go. Nicely on. I think there was toggle, wasn't there? Let's have a look. Toggle. That should be nice. Cancel. Off. Cancel. On. Cancel. Off. Cancel. On. Ah, I could play with this all day. Get rid of the print statement now. That was just while I was debugging because I couldn't work out why it wasn't working. So let's look what else we can do. We can also do brightness. Control the brightness, value between 0 and 254. Nice. Let's take this brightness word, put this here, put it down to, I'm going to have to go fairly low because the camera is like compensating and it's hard to see it. So let's go for 10. Yeah, you can see it's dimmer now. And it makes the wall with the switch, which looks pretty good, by the way, on the wall, much whiter. What I like about the switch, actually, really, is the non-smart home enthusiasts in the home. Why would there be any? Like, why would you not want to be a smart home enthusiast? Side point. But anyway, they do exist. Can just use it as a normal light switch. They don't need to know any different. And it looks good, looks normal, doesn't look like techie or horrible or like wires hanging or whatever. It just looks like a normal switch, operates like a normal switch. But little did they know, we have the power to make the brightness really high with a script. He says, didn't work. It's 256, was it not 256? 254. There we go, nice and bright. That's pretty cool. And that's like basically the control of the light. So you can hook this up to a sensor, and then when someone walks into the room, the light will turn on. And also, if they turn it off at the switch, like I said before, you will not lose control of the light from your code. You can turn it back on again. So I think let's do that. I happen to have a PAR/MMM wave sensor here, just spare lying around. And this would be perfect for the bathroom, because the idea is you walk in, the lights just turn off, turn on, do not turn off, that'd be terrible. And you walk out the bathroom, the light turns off. So let's start this. So if we go back to MQTT and find this sensor, I think I called it spare. Oh, here we go. Yeah, sensor spare. So that's the name of the sensor. It's already connected. And we have a thing here called presence. So that's what we're going to be using. We do client subscribe, but we're not subscribing to the switch bathroom. We're subscribing to the sensor, not bathroom, that would make sense, but spare. So this just means we're going to be able to listen to all the messages. We then need to say what we want to do when we get a message. So we do client on message equals on message, yes. And then we need to define that function. So we're going to go to the very top. Define on message client, yeah. Yeah, okay, so this will do. So this is the topic, we don't actually need this, we can get rid of that. The payload, which comes in. So this is the data that we're receiving from the event. We get that data, we put it into JSON. This is not contact, this is presence. So if presence, if it's true, we turn the bathroom on, and when else, we turn it off. So I believe this should work. I'll just get rid of this. We're going to turn the bathroom off now, and be able to run this. Right, the lights just come on, probably because I just moved. I'm going to go here, see if it's true. I'm going to stay very still because it's MM wave. False. Light's gone off. Okay, I'm now going to just go put it in the bathroom so we can see it work. Okay, it's going to keep catching me now. Give me 1 second. So the sensor's there now. It should not detect me moving in a minute and go off. I think presence keep time, we want this to be as low as possible. You can see the light's gone off. I'm now going to walk into the bathroom. Light comes on. And I leave the bathroom and come back to my desk. Once it hits false, that's really, oh, what? How's 10 seconds again? Maybe it's 10 is the minimum. 9. I have to wait for 10 seconds for it to clear. It's false. And now the light goes off. This switch I find very responsive. It, like, as soon as you send the message, it turns the light on and off. It's really nice to use physically, and you can make it automate your bathroom light so you don't have to touch the switch ever again anyway. I hope you like this video. Again, big thank you to Repenic for supplying this switch, and see you next time.